Now we will go with the electric flux. Now flux, which is a type of flow, and this flow is of the electric field lines. If we are having some charge, just we have discussed earlier, and these are lines of passing like this, electric field lines, means they are giving us the field strength. So electric flux basically is the property of any vector field. Now here if we are talking about the electric flux is also the property of electric field. Now if we talk in terms of electric flux, it is the measure of the total number of electric lines of force. These are the lines of force. Suppose these are lines of force are passing through this, like this. Lines of force normally through a particular area. We have ये एरिया हमने ले लिया और इसमें से नंबर ऑफ फील्ड लाइंस आर पासिंग. अब ये नॉर्मली पास हो रही है. ओके, सो इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड लाइंस विच आर पासिंग नॉर्मली, इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड स्ट्रेंथ इज रिप्रेजेंटेड बाय दिस, और ये एरिया ले लिया हमने सपोज ds. अब ये नॉर्मल जो है नॉर्मली पास हो रही है. सपोज इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड लाइंस आर पासिंग लाइक दिस, दे आर पासिंग लाइक दिस. ओके, we can make it like this. Now what will happen? तो यहाँ पर नॉर्मल में क्या होगा, ये नॉर्मल है, दिस इज द नॉर्मल, आई हैव टेकन वन. नाउ इफ इट इज नॉर्मल, सो दिस इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इज मेकिंग एन एंगल थीटा विद दिस. सपोज now if it is making an angle theta with this, so there will be a component e cos theta, and this e cos theta, and suppose I am taking this area as a ds, then the field lines which we are getting, that we are going to represent it by phi e, which is equals to this normal component e cos theta, normal component of electric field multiplied by the area. So it is giving us the phi e, which is equals to e ds cos theta, that we can write. Now here what we are getting, हमको यहाँ क्या मिल रहा है, डॉट प्रोडक्ट मिल रहा है. सो हम इसको इस टाइप से लिख सकते हैं, e डॉट ds, दोनों क्वांटिटीज यूनिट ये नॉर्मल में रिप्रेजेंट हो रहा है, वेक्टर में रिप्रेजेंट हो रहा है ds. ओके, सो व्हाट वी हैव गॉट दिस phi e, which is equals to e dot ds. Phi e is equal to e dot ds. Now clearly electric flux is a scalar quantity. Now electric flux is a scalar quantity. Now if we go through this, the unit of this electric field strength, that we know, SI unit, we will calculate about this SI unit. Now the SI unit of this electric field, Newton per coulomb multiplied with this area meter square. Either this we can use, Newton meter square per coulomb, or another unit, that is volt per meter, or volt per meter is the unit of electric field multiplied with meter square, so it is going to give you the volt into meter in terms of electric potentials. So we are having this SI unit. Now if we are having some say area like this, okay, now if we are having area like this, and if we want to know there are so many charges and the electric field lines, so many electric field lines are passing from this. Now we have got the SI unit, we come to understand that electric flux is a scalar quantity. We have got this relation phi e, which is giving us e dot ds, means it is clear to us that electric flux is a scalar quantity, though electric field and this unit area, this is also area vector, and this is electric field, both are vector quantity, but they are having a dot product or a scalar product. So ultimately what we are getting, this phi, which is electric flux, which is going to be a scalar quantity. Now suppose I am taking a very small area here, ds. I am having so many areas, ds1, ds2, ds3, like that. So there will be field lines which are passing from this, that we can say phi E1, which will be EDS1, phi E2, that is EDS2, and so many. We are taking this n number of areas if we are assuming here. Okay, so ultimately what we are getting, EDSN. Okay, now if we go to add them, if we go to add them, now what we are having, this phi E1 is equal to E1, which we have to take E1, here we have to take E2, because there will be different electric field. Here we are taking this E and this. So if we take the total electric field, field lines means electric flux, the total electric flux will be the addition of this, say phi E1, say phi E2, and so on up to phi En. We can take it a capital one, that will be better for us. Okay. Now here if we add them, what we are getting? We are getting total field lines means electric flux, which will be phi E is equals to, if we go on, E1 ds1 plus E2 ds2 and up to this En ds. Okay. Now here what we can do, if we take it like this, summation of this, I is equals to 1 up to n ei ds. So this is giving us what, this ds1, ds2, ds3, ds4, ds up to this, and finally what we are getting the total electric flux. This will be given by this. Okay, here we have got this. Now here what we have to take, limit n tends to infinity, that I forget to write it here, limit n tends to infinity and delta s tends to 0. Then ultimately what we are going to have, we have either it is a closed surface or it is a open surface. We are having this closed integral EDS over the surface area this. So total flux area will be given by E ds, okay, over the closed surface area. This is the sign of integration, closed integration over the surface area S E ds. Okay, so here what we have got this electric flux, which is the property of any vector field, and by assuming a very small areas, we have got number of field lines which are passing through that particular area, that ds1, say ds2, say dsn, so many. So we are assuming here that there are n number of areas. The field lines which we have got, the sum of these, this is your electric flux. So ultimately, finally what we are getting here, phi E is equal to limit n tends to infinity, n may be infinite number of areas, delta S tends to 0, this they are very small. So finally what we are getting? We are getting the summation of I is equals to 1 up to n ei dsi. So we can conclude with the open or closed surface area, that is over closed surface area, that is EDS. E is electric field and ds the area, surface area. Okay, this way we can go with the electric flux. Okay.